I looked at my results and I need to call my mama because she might have some explaining to do. Hey, what up? It's your girl Stanley. Some people know me as Nadia, or some people know me as my nickname Squarehuxtable. If I haven't met you before, nice to meet you. You guys saw the title of this video, so you pretty much know what it's about. So I'll just jump right in, but just a little prefix why I'm doing this video now. A lot of people are asking me because I did a video on Sierra Leone citizenship and all the details and the checklist. And so if you haven't seen that video yet, definitely watch that, because my whole goal is for the whole African diaspora to move back home. Even if you're not going to move back permanently, still to be able to vacation and go back freely. So there's some gems in that video. But a lot of people have been asking me about the DNA test that I did. So I'm just going to go ahead and just show you all of my results and let you know every single thing that you get with Ancestry DNA. I do not work for them. I am not an ambassador. This is not a paid ad. This is just me giving you the information that I have. And then I can also give you some information about African ancestry, because my sister did that prior to me doing this. So I'll even show some of those details. Yeah, so let's jump right into it. Like real quick, let's watch just like a minute, 2-minute video from Ancestry DNA, and then I'll be right back.
When you open up your Ancestry DNA results, you might be amazed by how much we can tell you from just your DNA. But how exactly do we figure out those percentages for so many different places around the world? First, we analyze the DNA in your saliva sample, and then look at around 300,000 specific markers to determine your ethnicity estimate. Nearly everyone has a different set of markers. That's what makes you uniquely you. The next step is to understand the ethnicities and percentages in those markers. We need to recognize and identify the patterns of DNA linked to a particular region or population. To do this, we group together DNA samples from people with long family histories in particular parts of the world. Each of these forms a reference group for a given population. Next, we divide your DNA into over 1,000 different sections. Then we compare each section to each of our reference groups. If a section is most similar to our Ireland reference group, it gets labeled as Ireland. If it is most similar to Japan, it gets labeled Japan. We repeat this with each of your DNA sections, and then total them up. If 30% of your DNA looks like the DNA of people with a long history in a particular region, then your results will show that. Because your ancestors didn't always stay in one place, some of your results could be closer to where that DNA originated and not where your family lived. It may sound simple, but it's a very involved process that relies on cutting-edge science.
And sorry y'all if my energy's kind of low. It's Sunday and just like, I'm kind of tired. But I know the importance of getting this information. I want to answer your guys' questions. So instead of individually just responding to comments and emails one by one, hopefully this will answer a lot of your questions. Cool. You guys just saw that video. So the only thing they didn't mention in the video is that Ancestry DNA does the maternal and the paternal line. Whereas African Ancestry, you can either order a test that's your maternal line, or you order a separate test that's your paternal line. And so what that kind of means is my maternal test would just be my mother, my mother's mother, her mother, etc. So I would be able to do that test. But if I wanted my paternal line, since I'm a female, I would have to find a male in my family to take the test. Really, ideally would be your father, but my father's passed away. So then I would ask my uncle, as long as my uncle shares the same father, then it would be kind of an accurate test. So I did Ancestry DNA, and the reason why I chose them is just because I didn't find any red flags, whereas for 23andMe I found a lot of red flags. And I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to get sued, but they've just been known to do some shady stuff. I don't even want to tell my friend's business. I'll tell all my business, but I have to be careful when I tell other people's stories. Even like my sister, I should ask her if I can share her DNA. Who knows? It might be private to some people. I'm an open book. But I'll change the names of the countries just so my friend doesn't feel like I exposed her business. But my friend's husband did a 23andMe test, and he's from a group that's very proud of who they are, and his test and his brother's test came back not that country, but a different country. And when you think about it, yeah, that 100% makes sense because of all the invasions from that country to that country. A lot of people who say they're this, their actual DNA and their bloodline is of the invader, right? I'm not sure if that makes sense, but bottom line is that group is so proud of who they are, they complained to 23andMe, and 23andMe said they're going to redefine that invader bloodline and call it the bloodline they think it is. No. Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. That is the whole point of DNA. Not to change it to fit your narrative, 23andMe. Because you know what I'm talking about. There's other stuff that I'm not even going to talk about because I don't want no smoke. Okay? But you cannot change DNA or no, I'm wrong. Not that you cannot. You should not change DNA results to fit narratives, and that's what they do. In terms of Black people, our history and our DNA is very powerful, and you want to just, everyone should make sure that they feel comfortable and safe with whoever they're giving their DNA to, right? And 23andMe just, this is just my opinion, this is not fact, they just do things that I don't like. And with all of the companies, you have to worry about privacy and dispensing your information, whether it's to the federal government, to the police, etc., etc. And first, when I thought about that, I'm like, well, I've never done anything illegal in my life, so I really don't care. It's not that simple, right? Because especially being a Black person in America, we know that you can be very much innocent of things, and your DNA can be planted in certain places and different things. So yeah, it's not as simple as, oh, I don't do anything illegal. And then, but the thing that I have to say, because I was in a chat room talking about this, and someone was like, oh, Black people should never do a DNA test because blah, blah, blah. The only reason I disagree with that is if you think that they don't have your DNA already, you might be mistaken, right? Because especially we're just coming out of, let me not even say the name of it, we're still in the pandemic, right? And I'm sure because of that you had to do a C test, and so really and truly they might have your DNA, Okay, so let's get into it. And actually, before I go into this, let me answer the specific questions that I got first, so I make sure I don't forget. Number one, when it comes to Ancestry DNA, a lot of people ask, does it tell you the African tribe that you're a part of? No, it does not. So most of us know that the more a certain DNA test company has DNA more like you, the more information they can tell you about you, right? So that's why I truly believe that African Ancestry would be the best in being able to tell you the specific details of your Africanness, right? So my sister did her African Ancestry maternal line, and it came back 100% Sierra Leone Limba people, and it was able to tell us about our specific tribe. You'll see the results I was able to get with Ancestry DNA. No, it does not go down to the tribe level. What I did like about it is I obviously got not just the maternal line, but paternal line. So with African Ancestry, they only tell you your African lineage, which, to be honest, is the only DNA I care about. But what if I was 50% something else? That African Ancestry would still say 100% Sierra Leone, because it's just saying of my African DNA, 100% of it on my maternal line is Sierra Leone. Get it? It's not necessarily saying that you only have Sierra Leone DNA in you. So I just wanted to know everything. So this is why I did Ancestry DNA. Yeah, so let me just flip you around so you're seeing my computer. Shows you the little highlights right here. We'll go into this later about the Stanley family tree, start free trial. Let's click on. So this first shows you your ethnicity breakdown. You can clearly see that I'm African. I was very excited when I saw this. Nigeria, 37%. Ivory Coast and Ghana, 25%. Benin and Togo, 17%. Cameroon, Congo, and Western Bantu peoples, 9%. Ireland, 4%.
Mali, 3%. Germanic Europe, 2%. England and North West Europe, 2%. Scotland, 1%.
And then it shows you see other regions tested, 1,500 plus. We won't go into that right now. And then you can click on each individual region. And then it tells you brief history about the region, the geography, religion, kingdoms of the past. You know, I'm gonna do my own research on this, but I'm glad that they put stuff in here. They highlight the slave trade. So then you can go back, you can do the same thing for each region. And do you see how this covers even Liberia, Ghana, Togo, this whole region? Bantu is something I've been studying very much recently, so I can't wait to put out all my videos on Bantu people, because I want to learn Xhosa, if not Swahili. Xhosa is a biblical language. So this is where I was talking about DNA communities, which was very interesting because I was born in England to Jamaican parents. I grew up in the States and then I moved back to Jamaica. And then now I'm back in the States. But clearly from my DNA, this is what a lot of people get confused. A lot of Jamaicans are like, oh, I don't have African DNA, I'm Jamaican. What? Jamaica was just a stop. Yeah, we might have stopped there for hundreds of years. But there are black people that are indigenous probably to Jamaica, but very few. The majority of us are African, right? Or, you know, there's the Chinese, all the different people that came to Jamaica, but in terms of the black people, right? But it was interesting how this was able to pinpoint Afro-Jamaican and what time period that my people were in Jamaica. I thought that was very unique. So then this also talks about DNA matches. So this shows people who have taken the same test, we share DNA, and it shows the region in which you find these people, and then you can click on and get details and their names, and you can even message them and contact them. And it says second, third cousin, 5% shared DNA. Jerome Faulkner, my mom I think knows Faulkner's. McGregor, I did know McGregor was my grandmother's maiden name is McGregor. I haven't contacted anyone yet. I should. I'll do that and I'll do a video on it. Actually, to be honest, I think I'm viewed. I think a couple people messaged me and I don't even think I've gotten back to them. Oh yeah, so here are the messages, and look how horrible I am. I haven't even gotten back to people. Okay, and so there's also parts, and I thought I had ordered this, where you can find out about your traits. So I know that I'm 93% African, and then it broke down different African countries. The tricky thing is this is why I said at the beginning that my mom has some explaining to do. Because my sister, you're the same mom, her maternal line said Sierra Leone. Do you guys see Sierra Leone anywhere on my test? So I was just like, Houston, we have a problem. But really and truly, it all depends on how different companies define different regions. For example, African Ancestry might be looking back thousands of years ago, what were the borders, and defining that. Whereas the test that I did today might be defining Sierra Leone's borders as the borders today. And we all know that borders in all countries have changed. So that could be the difference, especially even you see the section on my DNA test that says Western Bantu people. Western Bantu people could be any country. That could have been the Sierra Leone. So to answer a couple more questions, sorry about the lighting, y'all. It's one of those days, so I'm just getting out the information to you. It will look pretty next time. So Anita Lewis, she chose my heritage DNA test because it was noted as the best for African Americans. Awesome. My heritage traced my DNA back to Sierra Leone. Super excited about that. I'm super excited for you. So do I need to get some type of certificate from my heritage? So you will be told to get a DNA report that says Sierra Leone and certificate. Only the different agencies that you have to go through to get citizenship can tell you specifically what that means, whether you have a report and you don't have a certificate, if that's good enough, or you need both. So in my previous video, I suggest you taking down those emails and just emailing them. But all I know, I was told, and it's listed on the website about the citizenship, that you need a DNA report and certificate. So, but also too, once you find out, just, if you could, just write another comment so anyone else that's reading it will get the answer as well. Thank you for asking that question. Does Ancestry DNA give you the African ethnicity in addition to the region? So you might be asking about tribe, if that's ethnicity. Well, to answer your question, Gluebox, and I might have responded on the actual video, I first said no, it doesn't, because I assumed you were talking about tribe. But when you say ethnicity, you might be meaning like Bantu. It did, and you see on my results, it does say Western Bantu people. So that, I guess, technically is an ethnicity, right? But depending on what you mean. If you meant tribes, no, it does not. But they will have updates occasionally, and the more information they get in their database, the more information they can give you. So what I presume is African DNA, the more and more that they get, the more they'll be able to hone down more and more information. To be honest, I would trust African Ancestry with those type of details more so than anything else. Freedom, no communism said, so if I'm Mende, but Mende from another country, would that qualify? No, I don't believe that would qualify. You need to have Sierra Leone descent. So even if you have descent from a tribe that is prominent in Sierra Leone, but the country came up differently, I don't believe that will work. But same thing, I'm not an expert. I don't work for these companies, so feel free, when you watch my other video, the 2 emails that I suggested from BSL Travel at African Ancestry, ask them just to be sure. But no, I don't believe Mende would be able to qualify for Sierra Leone citizenship unless it's Mende people from Sierra Leone. I think that is all the questions to do with this video. But don't hesitate to email me at squarehuxtable@gmail.com. I love being able to help people. I love being able to serve you guys. So also in the comments, let me know other stuff that you're interested in learning about. But I have a whole bunch of fun videos coming soon, all about not just the African diaspora. And I also too want to set up different calls to unite us and to link us, and we'll do some lives once I'm able to build up a bigger community. I just started this journey a little over a month ago, so I'm a YouTube newbie, but I am a TV producer by trade. I love providing content, so The content will get better. You'll get more of it, and I hope that you watch every video, because the one thing that I really have found by delving into this, that there is so much that I didn't know, and there's so much they don't want us to know. And knowledge is power, and knowledge is freedom, right? So even the African travel research videos on San Tome, and I have a couple more coming, you might not think that you want to go to San Tome. Wait till you watch the video, and then you might be like, I did not even know that this existed in Africa. So yeah, I just want you to have fun and enjoy, and as long as I'm bringing you closer to the continent, I'm doing my job. As long as I'm bringing you closer to the Black experience, and the vast Black experience, right? Because we're not all monolithic, we're all different. I'm very militant, I'm very conscious, but I got my Gucci. I like my shallow stuff as well, which is okay. You just gotta be you. But I'm doing my part. Alrighty. Hope to see you guys soon. Bye for now.